Let me guess. You've opened your banking app before payday and thought, wait, I make decent money. Where is it all going? You're not broke. You're not irresponsible. You're probably doing what most people do. Paying bills, buying groceries, covering insurance, maybe putting a little money into savings when you remember. And somehow, despite years of working, the number in your accounts never seems to move fast enough. Then you see someone your age with a net worth of $500,000, $500,000, and your first thought is, they must earn way more than me. But here's the thing. That's often not true. In fact, research from multiple wealth surveys consistently shows that a large percentage of people who reach significant net worth milestones didn't do it through lottery wins, inheritances, or seven-figure salaries. They did it through habits, boring habits, repeated over years, habits that seem almost insignificant in the moment but become incredibly powerful over decades. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. My name is Leonard, and I spend way too much time thinking about the 7 financial habits of people with $500,000 plus net worth. If you're someone who feels like you work hard every month but still struggle to build meaningful wealth, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because here's what most people don't realize. Getting to $500,000 isn't primarily an income problem, it's a behavior problem. Let's get into it. Habit number 1. They pay themselves. First, not last. This sounds simple, almost too simple, but it's probably the biggest difference between people who build wealth and people who don't. Most people treat investing like a leftover category. Bills get paid first. Rent gets paid first, the credit card gets paid first. Entertainment gets paid first, then whatever remains gets invested, which usually means nothing gets invested. People with $500,000 plus net worth tend to reverse that process. They invest first, then they live on what's left. Now you might be thinking, Leonard, that's easy if you have a lot of money. Actually, this habit often starts when people have very little money. Let's do some math. Imagine 2 people. Person A waits until they're making $100,000 per year before investing seriously. Person B starts investing $300 per month at age 25. Assuming a 10% annual return, Person B could have roughly $680,000 by age 55, just from consistency, not brilliance. Consistency. The psychological reason this works is fascinating. Humans adapt incredibly quickly. If your paycheck is $4,000 and you automatically invest $400 before you ever see it, your brain quickly learns to live on $3,600. But if you receive the full $4,000 first, that money feels available, and available money tends to disappear. Automation removes the need for discipline, and systems always beat motivation. Habit number 2. They focus on net worth, not income. This one surprises people because society is obsessed with income. Someone says they make $200,000 a year and everyone is impressed. But net worth tells a completely different story. A person earning $200,000 while carrying massive debt may have a negative net worth. Meanwhile, someone earning $80,000 might quietly have $600,000 invested. One looks wealthy, the other is wealthy. Huge difference. Here's what most people don't realize. Income is what you earn. Net worth is what you keep. People with higher net worths tend to track assets and liabilities regularly, not obsessively, just consistently. They know approximately how much they have invested, how much debt they owe, how much their overall wealth changed this year. Think of it like driving a car. You don't stare at the speedometer every second, but you check it often enough to know whether you're moving in the right direction. Most people know their salary. Very few know their net worth, and that's a problem, because what gets measured gets improved. Habit number 3. They avoid lifestyle inflation. This might be the most expensive habit most people have, and they don't even realize it. You get a raise. You upgrade the apartment. You upgrade the car. You upgrade the phone. You upgrade the vacations. Suddenly you're making 30% more money, but somehow feel exactly as broke. Sound familiar? Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Humans rapidly adjust to improvements. The exciting new car becomes normal. The bigger house becomes normal. The nicer restaurant becomes normal. Then your brain wants another upgrade. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. People who reach $500,000 plus net worth often do something different. They increase their savings rate faster than they increase their spending. Let's say someone receives a $10,000 annual raise. Most people spend most of it. A wealth builder might invest $7,000 and spend $3,000. They still improve their lifestyle, just not at the same pace as their income. This is where it gets really interesting. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth lives, not in your paycheck. In the gap, the wider that gap becomes, the faster wealth grows. Habit number 4, they understand that small percentages matter. Most people will drive across town to save $50 on a television, then ignore a 1% difference in investment fees. Which is funny because the fee matters far more. Let's look at an example. Suppose you invest $300,000 over time. One portfolio costs 0.20% annually. Another costs 1.20%. That 1% difference might sound tiny, but over decades, it can cost tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's the psychological trap. The fee isn't painful. You don't see it leaving your account. It happens quietly, like a tiny leak in a boat. One drop doesn't matter. 10,000 drops absolutely do. People with higher net worths develop an appreciation for compounding. Not just positive compounding, negative compounding too. Interest works for you. Fees work against you. Debt interest works against you. Habits work for you. Everything compounds. The question is simply, in which direction? Habit number 5, they think in decades instead of months. Look, most financial mistakes happen because people dramatically overestimate what can happen in a year and underestimate what can happen in 20. We live in a world of instant results. Instant food, instant entertainment, instant delivery. So naturally, we expect instant wealth. Then 6 months pass and our investments haven't doubled, and we get frustrated. People with substantial net worth often have a completely different time horizon. They think in decades. Imagine planting an oak tree. You don't dig it up every week to see if it's growing. You plant it, water it, and protect it, then let time do its thing. Investing works similarly. The stock market has historically delivered strong long-term returns despite crashes, recessions, and periods of uncertainty. Yet every market decline convinces millions of people that this time is different. Now, sometimes it is different, but long-term wealth builders understand something important. Temporary declines are often the price of long-term growth, and they're willing to pay that price. Habit number 6, they treat debt like an emergency. This is where a lot of people get stuck, not because they're lazy, not because they're unintelligent, because debt normalizes itself. Monthly payments become part of life. Car payment, credit card payment, store card payment, personal loan payment, and eventually people stop questioning them. Here's what most people don't realize. Every debt payment reduces your ability to invest. Every dollar going toward high-interest debt is a dollar that can't compound for your future. Let's say you carry a $10,000 credit card balance at 20% interest. That debt is effectively earning a guaranteed negative 20%. Very few investments can consistently outperform that, which means paying it off is often one of the highest return financial decisions available. People with $500,000 plus net worth aren't necessarily debt-free. Many have mortgages. Some use debt strategically, but they rarely tolerate expensive consumer debt for long periods. They understand that wealth creation becomes dramatically easier when fewer people have claims on your income. Habit number 7. They make financial decisions based on identity. This is the habit that ties everything together. And honestly, it's the one most people overlook. Most people focus on goals. I want to save more. I want to invest more. I want to stop overspending. The problem? Goals don't last. Identity does. Think about someone trying to get healthy. A goal says, I want to lose 20 pounds. An identity says, I am someone who takes care of my health. Completely different. The same applies to money. People who build substantial wealth often start seeing themselves differently. They become investors, they become planners, they become people who prioritize long-term decisions. And once that identity forms, many financial decisions become easier. Because you're no longer asking, what should I do? You're asking, what would a financially responsible person do? That's a much more powerful question. Because behavior follows identity, not the other way around. The hidden truth about reaching $500,000. Now here's the part that surprised me when I first started studying wealth-building behavior. Most people assume reaching a $500,000 net worth requires some dramatic breakthrough, a huge promotion, a business success, a lucky investment. And sure, those things can help, but for many people, the path is much less exciting. It's automatic investing, avoiding unnecessary debt, keeping lifestyle inflation under control, thinking long-term, tracking net worth, making consistent decisions. That's it. Not flashy, not viral, not particularly entertaining, but incredibly effective. Because wealth is usually built gradually. Then suddenly, for years, progress feels invisible. Your portfolio grows from $5,000 to $10,000, then $10,000 to $20,000, then $20,000 to $40,000. Nothing feels life-changing, but eventually compounding starts doing heavy lifting, and the numbers begin moving much faster. This is why patience is so valuable. The biggest rewards often arrive near the end of the journey, not the beginning. If you're nowhere near $500,000 today, that's okay, seriously. Everybody starts somewhere. The important thing isn't your current number, it's your current direction. Because the habits we talked about today aren't reserved for wealthy people. They're the habits that create wealthy people. And that's a huge distinction. You don't wait until you have $500,000 to act like someone with a $500,000 net worth. You act like that person first, then the results gradually follow. Start small. Automate one investment. Track your net worth. Pay off one debt. Increase your savings rate by 1%. Take one step, then another, then another. Because financial success rarely comes from one giant decision. It usually comes from hundreds of small decisions made consistently over many years. And one day, you'll look back and realize those small decisions completely changed your life. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments. Which of these 7 habits do you think will have the biggest impact on your financial future? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.